Yes, if you need raw dog food anywhere in the United States, be sure to visit our friends over at TexasTripe.com.
Welcome to Nwa Cane Corsos podcast, where we talk all things dogs.
And they make me the underdog. I'm gonna show them all they're wrong because I'm the champion. I'm the real champion. There'll never be one like me.
Praise the Lord, saints. What's going on, family? We back with a surprise one. You know, we the real deal Holyfield, so we always having real conversations, real ideas. Tonight, we're going to get right to it. Brother Jihad Muhammad, what's cracking, brother?
Oh, brother, taking it easy on this Wednesday night. Always glad to be able to use your platform to both share and learn.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, we appreciate you always being down to come teach, to come learn, to come share, whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah, this is an off the cuff podcast here. We're just gonna talk about a few things. Jihad, I'm gonna let you kind of take it over for a minute and add my Instagram in and do your greetings and things to the people and whatnot.
Okay, I'm brother Jihad Muhammad. I'm the owner of Mizan K9, located in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, about 40 minutes south of the capital city, Little Rock. I do breed the Cane Corso, but my specialty, what I have the most knowledge on and probably the more passion surrounding is the Rockefeller breed. So I'm here to share. I've been doing this for about 13 years, breeding, showing dogs, training, weeping litters. You know how it go, that type of thing. I've learned some things, and I always like to be able to share with other people.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And everybody should know me. I'm your host, Joe of Nwa Cane Corsos. I'm up here. I'm from not too far from where Jihad is, Little Rock, but I reside in Northwest Arkansas. Therefore, that's why you have the NWA slogan or moniker. Most people know. I'm a dog breeder. I breed the Cane Corso and the Central Asian Shepherd as well. Well, tonight, the title of this show is Before You Contact a Breeder or a Trainer and Taking Emotions Out of Things. And so me and Jihad was talking about this. And, you know, a lot of the times we put a lot of pressure on the breeder to provide information, to answer our calls, to answer emails and things. But me and him know that everything ain't always perfect. So
Right.
I kind of want to give the insight of a breeder on how it looks to us for taking business calls, emails, things like that, and things we can do to help ourselves respond better to the public. So, what you think, Jihad, so far? What's your thoughts on it?
So let me kind of give you some of the backdrop of what we experience. You get somebody that call you or text you or inbox you, email you, whatever the case is, and they have a list of questions. So they may ask you a question about a particular litter or puppy you have, they may ask you to see a picture of the parents, whether you have any health tests on the dogs, where you're located. So you get a long list of questions that you really have to take your time and answer. And sometimes you could be talking to a client for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour. And it becomes irritating to me, and I've talked to other breeders. But when you provide all this information through email, text message, conversations, and then somebody says to you after you've spent an hour worth of your time, they say, well, man, let me get with my wife. I got to talk to my wife about it. In many cases, what I find out, particularly dealing with men, is they have to get permission from their wife to even get the dog.
Hey, Jihad, hold on 1 second. Hold that thought. I had to stop for 1 minute. I got to give a brother a shout out. Dante's Boxing Nation, I see you there in their Instagram. Guys, when I got my first start doing this stuff, I wasn't even thinking about podcasts. I just didn't want to advertise my dogs through the normal. I'm a little man on the totem pole. I never thought I'd be doing it. Dante's Boxing Nation helped me with advertising my dogs just a few years back. So I want to give a shout out to Dante's Boxing Nation, which is one of the most historic boxing channels on YouTube. And that phrase, new media, he's been around a long time. That phrase, new media, comes from him. So I'm a boxing fan, like a serious boxing fan. Shout out Dante's Nation. I'm sorry, Bud Jihad.
Hey, y'all better watch. And you boxing fans should watch for and keep an ear for
your son.
This young brother that's coming up in the game. He's in Arkansas. He's out of Cabot. His name is Joseph the Disciple Muhammad. He will be boxing in Oklahoma on the 20th. But he's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So keep an eye out for that brother.
Yeah. These kids got to put these kids in sports like boxing. Both of my kids in wrestling. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, I'm sorry to cut y'all. I just had to give Dante his flowers real quick.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So, we get a lot of questions, a lot of text messages. We're sending, constantly sending pictures. We get those calls. Like I got a text message from a guy who's a potential client, and he says to me, he's interested in puppies. He's trying to buy a puppy, and he's asking me about the Rockwell and the Cane Corso. And at the end of the conversation, I tell him, I said, look, if you want to deal with righties, and you want to, you say you want to start a program, so I'm your guy. You talk to me about that. If you want to deal with Corsos right now, I know Joe got something that's coming that's super nice. He's going to be your person. But I cannot decide what dog breed that you should go with. So a lot of times when clients call, it's some basic research they have not done, and they want you to give them the history of the breed. They want you to do a comparison, contrast as to what breed is best for them. And there are certain details about them that you don't know. And it's a lot of gaps. So for me, I like clients that have did their research. They've tried to do that did as much research as possible. They can explain to me something about the breed, what they like about the breed, and particularly what they need the dog for, because that's the big thing. Are you trying to breed? Are you trying to do personal protection? Do you want a guard dog? Are you wanting a pet? I think that's the biggest thing. A lot of people don't know. They know they want a dog. They don't know what breed. If they know the breed, they can't explain what they want to do with the dog, and that makes it difficult for the breeder to help them.
Right. I was talking to another breeder yesterday about this same thing. Like, it is up to the customer to know. We can't go over breed history with you. You know what I'm saying? Only thing we can do is talk about our dogs. We
Right.
really shouldn't be talking about other breeders. I do the ones I know, the ones I got dog. That's the only thing I can speak on. You know what I mean? I don't even really say nothing about the guys I might got a bad dog from.
Right.
But you know, but it's beneficial to me to talk about the dogs and the dogs from the dudes I've got because that's what I know. I don't
Right.
know. I don't know what these other dudes are doing. Matter of fact, Jihad, before I had this podcast, my wife was telling me, she said, "You ain't never been on the phone as much as you do until you got that podcast." Because I am not a phone person.
Right.
I hate the phone, but I know I have to do it. You know what I mean? Uh, every now and again. But when you call a breeder, you need to know the basics of the breed. You have to do your own research on what the breed is for, the ins, the outs, the ups and downs, the positives, the negatives, before you even get to them. You should know those things because it's off top, core,
Mhm.
at the core. Because the hardest thing is who you gonna use, who you gonna get a dog from.
Right.
That's a task within itself. But
Right.
I suggest no less than 6 months looking. Sometimes it might take a year to find a dog. You
Right.
know what I mean? You know, so and then back to something he was saying about, we was talking about sports and things like that. The breeders got lives. You can't call them at 9, 8, 9, 10 o'clock.
Right.
8 o'clock for me is like the worst time to call me, period. Between 7 and 10, because I'm so busy with my kids. Really 5 to 10.
Right.
Just my kid stuff and what you call it. So but I'm 24 hours. I'm gonna answer that phone. But you need to you gotta take in the contact when you hit them up at 10 at night. You might be in the bed. You might
Mhm.
want to call it a respectful time. You may want to schedule a call. I really like that one.
Right.
Yes, just schedule a call, and I'll be ready. I'll make sure I'm stopped doing what I'm doing, and that's the best way. But then too, Muhammad, a lot of it is our fault too. Whether you breeder or a trainer, lot you don't have to have one, but I'm a little guy. You know what I'm saying? So if I have a website, a lot of the information and questions you're gonna ask me, it's probably already there
Right.
before you even get to me. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And then two, a lot of the questions I may have for you could easily be answered for me just by filling out one of the applications I have online.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's certain things we can do too, because I don't want to ever come off being like, oh, they get on, they getting on my nerves.
Right.
But certain
Right.
things we have to fix. And sometimes you just have to cut them off. Wait, bro, wait. Let me send you this information. Read over this.
Right.
Call me back. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
Cause,
then let's
'cause
have that
you're gonna
conversation.
you get a lot of calls and a lot of texts from people who are you have to be patient and tolerant. You get a lot of calls from people who are, for the lack of a better word, window shoppers.
Yes.
They got 1,000 questions, but they don't have any money to buy a dog. But they have
Yeah,
1,000 questions. In
that's
that
right.
case, what I like to do is, or what I recommend is that if you could put together a brochure that you can always send people, and then when you got a litter of puppies on the ground, like now I got a litter of puppies on the ground, I got a litter coming. I got a contract for both of those litters, the litter that's on the ground that's born and the litter that ain't born yet.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get to talking to me, I'm gonna ask you for your email. I'm gonna shoot you some information. And I
Mm-hmm.
know if you take your time and you read that brochure and you read that contract and you come and you call me back and you're able to talk about that brochure and that contract, I know that you're serious. Because now you
Right.
don't take some time out of your schedule to read what I sent you. And you have taken some time to understand, because sometimes you get those calls, hey man, how much you sell your puppies for? And yeah, if you've been around for a while, you know, different litters, you're looking at the mother and the father, they're going to be priced different. If I got a litter that's coming, it is a line bred litter, very famous line, some really, really nice dogs in it. I'm not going to sell those puppies for what I done sold outcross puppy or scattered litter for. It's not going to happen. So a part of it is getting the grasp of getting the understanding what expectation is as it relates to pricing, as it relates to the time that the breeder has, doing your research, and then a lot of things are put that you can just go and find on people's page. If somebody got a litter and they're posting videos, I could take time and watch that video to get some idea of what the temperament of those puppies is. And when you do that, a lot of times when you do your own research, it'll keep you out of harm's way in terms of being scammed.
Right.
The person's going to provide, you know, you got information on the litter, you got information on that person. They're not a person, a fly-by-night person that just hopped up and all of a sudden they got a litter to sell, and you go through their Facebook page and it's a new Facebook page just created. You don't know where they're from. You don't have any background information on them. So I would always advise people to be patient, do your research, take notes. You want to buy from somebody that is knowledgeable. So you kind of listen as you're doing your research, you're listening to what a person is saying. And if what the person is saying does not add up with your research, then that means what? Either your research is off or the person you have selected to buy a puppy from is off. But you need to reconcile those two before you even approach that person.
Another time saver is now I don't mind the let me get with my wife shit, because it is a bullshit excuse, but it could be a truthful excuse. I remember, you know, man, if I'm going out to the store and I think I'm about to spend about $400-500, I'm just gonna let you know I'm gonna make this, you know what I'm saying? It's a little bit out the normal. 200, I know she ain't gonna say shit. 500, you know, I might want to clear it with my wife, you know what I'm saying? Because we are adding a new family member. But another time saver is, this gonna be a game changer for some people, is scripts. You know what I mean? Now that sounds crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you got a litter of puppies, every week they gonna hit you up. Why not go have a script? I have such and such puppy. This puppy is blah 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 blah. Go have the information, copy and paste, boom boom. You know what I'm saying? Every week have a new script to keep that.
Right.
It's just an update of what's going on with the litters, what's available, and all that. Sometimes scripts can and just laying out the information in front of everybody. You still gonna have somebody say, if you said I got 5 puppies available, 3 boys and 2 girls, somebody still gonna go in the comments. You said, how many girls you got? You still gonna have that person. But
no, let me tell you what I experienced yesterday, Joe.
Okay. Yeah.
So yesterday I decided I had a litter of puppies. I think it was like 10 puppies. Nice puppies, Corso puppies. One of the puppies had a horrible overbite. My first time experiencing such a bite. And I said, I'm gonna get this puppy. I'm gonna get this puppy to somebody. And the only thing I was requiring for them to get the puppy was they needed to have a vet recommendation. I needed a vet to email me. Get your vet to email me and to vouch and say, look, I've been knowing this person. They good with dogs. They're going to take care of the dog, da-da-da-da. I said, once I get that email and I call them and verify what they saying, whoever gets me the email first, they can get it. They can get the puppy.
Yeah.
from between both of my Facebook pages and my inboxes, I had probably about 50 people that wanted that puppy, 4-month-old puppy, right? Some of them said, "Hey, what's going on with the puppy?" It's in the post. The puppy has an overbite. It will not come with registration papers. It's in the post. You must have a vet recommendation sent to this email. I will verify after verified. So I had about 50 people between the comments, my inbox, calling me, texting me, about 50 people. Do you know, out of 47 of those people, none of them could provide me with a vet recommendation? There was one person who said, "Well, you know my vet, call my vet. My vet gonna call you." So they called me. Now, that's not what I asked for. I didn't ask anybody to call me. I asked for somebody to send me a recommendation to my email. So they called me. When I get on the phone, they said, "Well, we asked him, was it all right for us to share the file?" They went through this man's file. And so many dogs didn't get vaccinations, finished vaccinations. He had a few dogs with heartworms. He didn't go back and get the medicine and treat them. Just a whole list of issues that he had. So that's another thing. If you as a breeder, or you got dogs and you're going to veterinarian clinics, you need to have a relationship with that veterinarian where you can get a simple email that don't take 5 minutes to do. All of these people had major issues getting they wanted the dog, but they had major issue getting the email. They were not good at following instructions because they were constantly calling and inboxing me and asking me questions that's clearly in the post. If you cannot get a vet recommendation, you cannot get the dog.
Right.
So
yeah, and then too, Jihad, the dog was free. That makes a difference.
Yeah.
You go get that when it's free. You know what I'm saying? And I've got a dog back. I got a dog back recently from a lifestyle change, and I'll probably do free to somebody I know, but I don't think I'll do free to somebody I wouldn't know. I mean, it'll have a small rehoming fee or something like that. But like my your vets would tell you, people that may be looking for dogs and things like that. So I was able to go through them,
right.
call up there, "Hey, I got this dog, a good home." So I kind of do it like that. When you kind of put it out, I mean, I'm not telling you how to handle your business, but I just noticed when it's free, it attracts.
But so
Yeah.
even with it being free, they could not get.
They can't do it.
vet to send a recommendation.
No, because and that's bad.
Yeah.
For that many people not to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else was we gonna talk about? I know we was gonna talk about dang it. The emotion side of social media. The emotional side of social media. I did a great interview. Well, it was great for me because a lot of people that I interview, it'd be my first time interviewing, and I'm actually get to knowing them on screen. We ain't got nothing like, well, we're gonna talk about this, we ain't gonna talk about this. Like maybe like with our regular guests, hey, we're gonna cover this subject, blase, but ain't nothing scripted. So, and I was talking to Terry Cornish about this, and me and him agreed one of the best parts of the interviews was at the end on, when you're doing this, taking the emotional side out of your social media, out of your program, making hard decisions, tough decisions. Yeah, what's up, bro, Terry? Even with like this podcast and stuff, I was even talking to Gerald about this today too, because Gerald, me and him, we'll go back. We in the same field. We'll go back and forth. He might say, "Man, I ain't like this shit." I might be like, "I ain't like this shit you did." You know what I mean? I'm talking about Gerald All World Dobermans.
Right.
And then we'll talk about it, and he'll make his point. Then I'll make my point. But at the end of the day, being that we both know that we are content creators, that kind of move the needle in content. You know what I mean?
Right.
The serious needle movers in content that we both know that next week we'll be on to something else.
Right.
But that whole week was emotional. that whole week was like,
what happened to me, I got I know Terry will remember this. When I got my first import, pregnant female, I got her, and I started doing, I guess I did more research on the male that had studied to her after she was already en route to the United States. And when I did that, there was a question mark in my head that I had, and some things didn't seem right. I was like, this ain't right. So I ended up calling a guy who had who eventually purchased this stud. And I called him. It was kind of late. When I called him. And man, he had the horriblest attitude. Mm. And I remember what he said to me. He said, "Man, I done spent a lot of money on this dog." And his emotion tied to his money was so high it would not allow him to process properly the questions that I had for him. He eventually ended up getting rid of the dog. And he got rid of the dog for the wrong reason. Because instead of getting out of his emotions and looking, and during that process, I discovered something that they was doing across seas. I won't discuss it here. But I discovered something they was doing across seas, and it ran counter to what I had been taught. And I went to this brother and I asked him, I said, "Man, this ain't adding up right." I said, "What's going on with this?" He said, "Well, let me tell you what they're doing." He explained it to me and it made sense. Mm-hmm. But I didn't have an emotional connection where I could not continue to dig and do my research to find out what happened with this issue, because it ain't looking right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a lot of times we have to, if we're gonna be scientists, we talk about breeders, you're talking about scientists. Mm-hmm. You're talking about training, you're talking about science. Mm-hmm. We have to be able to step outside of ourselves and get out of our emotions if we're going to learn from each other.
Right. Because one emotional thing I have to deal with, and a lot of breeders have to deal with, is dealing with the person who just came off the scam. Somebody who just got burnt and they adamant on getting a dog. Oh man, it's like dealing with a whole new girlfriend. And right. I'm like, dude, do you see me I said, what about, I'm everywhere.
Right.
What am I gonna do? I mean, I hate you had that experience, but even with that process, I mean, that's something you have to walk people through, and you just have to be stern about it. I want you to hold that dog until I get the
right
deposit on thing holding this dog. This person sent me this deposit that I've been talking to, and I have this application on, and I'm proving at home. It don't work like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. You got to get in where you fit in. I cannot be, in some ways, your emotional support system, because you. Afterwards, you go research how to properly find a dog. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sit your money off too fast. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah,
I experienced. I mean, you name it. I have experienced it in terms of you know, I mean, you name it, I've experienced it. I had a guy that he wanted to fight me because he brought a dog back to me that wasn't eating, and I kept the dog for probably about
2 weeks.
7-10 days.
Okay.
And I got the dog to start back eating with raw chicken. Man, this dude saw this video and went off. You done fed the dog raw chicken. I don't want the dog no more. I'm talking, he went all the way off. And something was going on, but I wind up wrestling with him. He raised his voice. I said, brother, you can raise your voice. It ain't gonna matter. I'm not gonna get upset with you, but I'm letting you know, if you don't get this dog back, you're gonna lose your money. Right. He got the dog back, and later on ended up apologizing to me because we live in the same city. So he ran across me and ended up apologizing. But his emotions were so high. If he would have been in our presence, we probably would have got the fight.
Yeah, but that's not act.
And it was something simple.
Right.
He didn't think that the dog should have been given any type of raw meat at all. And I did what I knew I could do to get that dog to start back eating and get that dog back to him.
That's funny. Yeah. People get emotional and different things like that about stuff. Especially with you talking about physicals, like since I'm on this online a lot of, I get a lot of threats and all this whole crazy stuff. But the funny thing about it is, like, they don't know you 6'6".
Right.
Like this dude 6'6". Like they don't know Lamont like 6'3".
Right.
Like we some big old country cornbread fed rascals down here. How about to go?
I think the biggest thing is we deal with a lot of people that are emotional.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to make sure that we remain professional, because that's how we remain in control in terms of being able to guide and being in control of the situation.
Right.
So they're gonna do this or do that. We can't get emotional.
Even with this online stuff, because at the end of the day, everybody trying to prove themselves online. Online is like playing basketball with the fellas, and then a group of girls come up and sit and watch the game.
Yeah.
The whole thing changes.
Yeah.
Subliminal shots. All is a lot of what we call it when you they photo, what they do, they send you screenshots and all this.
Yeah, screenshot.
Yeah, the whole game changes.
I call them Facebook warriors.
Yeah,
They all this, but when it comes down to show and tell, it's nothing they can do anything.
Right. So it's kind of like that too. It ain't no kind of like that. It is definitely like that online. You got dudes that don't mind showing their ass in front. I mean, they'll pull down their pants and say, because they real bitch hearted. Real chicken blooded, chicken hearted. And so they'll act the fool just for attention, because at the end of the day, they just trying to sell a dog. So it's starting to get harder now, especially when we like what we come on and what we doing. Boy, bro, for the last 5 years, especially in the mastiff world, only thing you had to do was get on and start talking shit about another breeder and why you better. And now, but you can't do that no more, because now the breeders are coming on. They're like, man, who are these dudes? They were just internet stars. They wasn't real dudes out in the community.
And most of them have no sustainability. They're not gonna be around.
Yeah, right. It's just it. It's just a bunch of that.
Like a guy that is hot. It's kind of like in the activists in the political world, the guy that is the hottest, the person that's coming up feel like, if I take this dude down, I'm the man now.
That's right. Yeah, it's
so
really
that's what you get. You gotta be you running on the hot street, and this is the person that's hot. That's the person that's gonna have the target on their back.
Yeah, you go. Thank you. Yeah, you
Yeah.
have a target on the back. You have people you think with you that really ain't with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, they act like they like you, but they don't. You know what I mean? And you could hear it in their tones and in their messaging and you know, and the
Right.
and the subliminals. But you have to be bigger than that and just work harder. Also, let me tell y'all something because I'm thinking this is important. Because I've been talking to a few young trainers that I've been watching. They younger trainers, I say, and I think sometimes they think like, you know, this is a guy full of older channels that want to talk bad about young dudes. Man, that is not the case. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
there was a couple questions posed at me this week. Y'all talk down. No, ain't nobody talking down. When you listen to a guest on here, whatever his ideology is his ideology. It don't mean you have to take it. Let me tell you something. Trainers, they gonna be one trainer gonna say this, one trainer gonna say that. What the fuck should you do? What's best for you? You know, they can argue all day long. At the end of the day, you got to do what's best
Right.
for you. We could talk about breeding. I do this. I'm gonna bring the cross in. Blah blah. I never cross. I don't never do it. Pure breed ain't no breed. I don't, blah, blah. Do what's best for you. I'm gonna tell the young men. I don't like all that old complaining and whining and shit because that's the last thing I want to hear on there. Listening to other people just complaining about other men.
Right.
You young brothers, y'all got something y'all want to implement. We not knocking. I'm not knocking y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because Jihad would know. Jihad is a very active in his community. And bro, one thing I hated coming up was the older dude hating on us. We didn't have, we had father.
Right.
I had a father and things like that, so they helped me. But outside of that, I've never been able to wholeheartedly count on a person who had my back like that as far as a male. You know what I mean? Besides my father, that was his duty though. Just like it's my duty to do my son. But I ain't never that guy that's against the youth. And I know that brother there ain't.
Right.
I know he ain't.
and the thing about it is when it comes down to because I was thinking about this earlier today, when it comes down to breeding or training or anything surrounding these dogs, it is okay to be innovative. It is okay to do something different. I don't
Wait. Okay. I got it. I'm for the corner. I'm gonna see if I can corner Brother Muhammad. Okay. Is it really anything new under the sun?
No.
What can you innovate in dog training? Dogs been around thousands of years. How do we know who created what? Unless it was documented at a certain time and you can timestamp it. You know what I mean?
No, but you know what? But here's my point.
Okay.
I have met trainers and you get to talking to them, you say, how did you get started? And they'll tell you a story about them getting started. They didn't have no mentor. They figured it out on their own.
Man, look,
and
I had one dude, I said, how long you been training? He said, what he told me? Since my eyes open. I said, God damn.
Yeah.
I said, oh my God. But this stuff is good. But
I mean, even when it comes
been around a long time.
Right.
Who started the shit? You know what I mean? Dogs been with man a long time. That's what Schoolboy told me. He said when you talk about breeding, Joe, he told me this right when I first met him a couple years ago. He said, when you get off into this science and all this, he said, you know what was science before then? It was the man. The man was the science. We were the science. We still are is the science. We still are the science. We don't want to make decisions on this, on the breeding and things like that. So yeah, go ahead, expound. So I was trying to see.
So yeah, so that's, I mean, here's the thing. Everybody has a starting point. Okay. And this is what I tell dudes all the time. Everybody has a starting point, and 9 times out of 10, that starting point is not going to be their ending point. There's a lot of information that you pick up that you're going to pick up along the way. If you can get a good mentor, that good mentor could save you from making a lot of mistakes. Okay? It can save you from making a lot of mistakes if you get a good mentor. However, never think that whoever is mentoring you has it all and knows it all. No. Be willing to continue to do your research, be willing to continue to move forward, and study what you are producing. Study. That's one of the problems that we have in the breeding world is we are not really studying what we produce. You got to go back and look at those puppies. You got to talk to the people that got them. This one of the previous litters that I got that just turned 6 months. Me and my cousin was texting each other today, and she put everybody who got those puppies in the same thread for updates. So we got pictures, we got reports, I asked for pictures from different angles so that we can see. And if I showed you the mother and the father, you would say, there's no way that mother and that father produced those puppies.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I saying that? Because there is more in the breeding than what most of us have been told to look at in terms of what's on the surface level.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm constantly saying, continue to dig and do your research. It's about more than the dogs that are in front of you. You got to keep in mind that the dogs that are in front of you, they had siblings.
Mm-hmm.
They had brothers and sisters. There were so many puppies in that litter. You may be looking at that dog, but you don't know what the whole litter looked like.
That's right. That's right. Hey, let me get some of this community in because we community oriented. Vic, what's happening, brother? Oh my God, my eyeball. As breeders, having a well-written contract will cut a lot of the emotion out. It's standard. It's in writing. If someone doesn't like it, then they can take their business. Well, yes, sir. Ty Lee, that was a real statement. Just internet guys not really in the community, guys good at marketing, but not really educated. Or they might not be this. Everybody got one. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's a two-edged sword. Everybody got a camera. Everybody got a phone. Everybody can do this. You know what I'm saying? Let me finish one thing. I got guys mad at me because of statements I made, but at the same time they turn around and try to sneak on a podcast. You ain't coming on here, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And then I showed y'all, go look at the email of these dudes on my shorts. I put it out there so y'all can see how crazy some of these guys are on internet. They out of their mind. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And these are the type of people that try to sell you dogs and sell you courses under the guise and under the name of other people. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, brother.
And I know you have a disclaimer, but your guests are going to make certain statements that may be 100% accurate and may not be 100% accurate.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have no fact checkers.
Yep.
Responsibility when you hear something coming out of my mouth to do your own research. It ain't the host's responsibility every time something come out to check it.
Yeah.
Because whoever the guest is, they have a perspective. Sometimes their perspective is based upon their own personal experience that they have had.
Yeah.
That maybe the host or the co-host haven't had.
Right. So it's been questions I asked. It'd be like, and somebody might ask me, say, "Damn, dude, why you ask me that question?" Well, I ain't know. You know what I'm saying? Well, you kind of, So, but yeah, it's everything is yeah, it's under a disclaimer. Look, I and then the guest might say something you don't like.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They might say something I didn't like. I ain't gonna lie. It's been shows, maybe 2 or 3. I
I
left pissed in a mother. I was like, I can't believe it. I couldn't wait to get off this shit. I'm like, and then there's some shows that piss y'all off. I know, like Ben White. I just some of y'all just can't take it. You know what I'm saying? He's hilarious and he's brutally honest to me. You know what I mean? He's both to me at the same time, but he's
Right.
brutally honest. I don't see where he lies at. And it's
And,
fun.
and he has he has a lot of experience that you don't see the average person with. He got all them dogs right there going live. You know, some people have to say, I can't have all them dogs going live like that. The fight might break out anything.
Yeah,
So
yeah. He spent a lot of time with his dogs. Yeah, yeah. He spent a lot of time with his dogs. Like, people perspective is going to be different, especially on how you like in the South. It can be different sometimes as a whole, because our dogs probably may be raised a little harder. You know what I mean? When we was coming up, a dog was a function. You're supposed to bark, and you know what I'm saying? He might not be able to come in the house. And there's some dog men like that, some real hard dog men that you'll see some stuff coming up like Brad Sneed. His mindset on a dog is just, it's not, he loved dogs, but it's not as on a pet owner type love. It's a deeper type attachment. Let me get this one. Brother Terry Cornish. What's up, bro? My emotional breakdowns come from hearing misinformation about my breed. The business pushes a false narrative of the breed as the breeds become popular. Your breed been popular, bro. Your breed been popular a long time, Terry. You're gonna be like, shut up, Joe. Okay. Let me see. Vic says, since they are talking about innovation, what is said about the copycat? What is with the hate because someone is doing something similar to you? Are people nowadays afraid of competition? Um, what's new under the sun? You know what I mean? But what did you learn? That I think people get frustrated for the copycat thing when it actually is a copycat.
Right.
If I go shoot a video out there, go sit in my chair and go teach my two dogs how to sit, put them up, and sit back down, drink some coffee, and talk. And you go do the same thing 10 minutes later. I mean,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's the part people getting frustrated about. I know, I had an incident with Presser Breeder a week or so ago, where I was accused of being like a copycat. I didn't see it. I don't think we even do the same thing. But hey, he figured. I mean, that's his opinion. I can't change his mind. Okay.
So somebody said question.
Hold on, let me pull it up. Hold on 1 second. Question: when someone, I know you can read it, but I'm trying to blow it up so everybody can see it. Question: when someone comes to buy a dog from y'all, do y'all take the time to educate them on the bloodlines and what the qualities of the dog and his pedigree? Yes. That's why I said at the top of the show, we can only talk about our dogs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And what you know about the dogs, their mom and dad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I'm fortunate enough to be able to talk to the breeders who may own the parents, the grandparents, the great grandparent, and get what those dogs like. So that's pretty much all we can provide, especially on my level, because I hadn't been breeding 20 years. I hadn't been breeding 30 years, but I still can reach out and get the background on my dogs if I hadn't even seen it. I've been to the kennels and seen them too, and been around them and had them in my hands and things like that. So yeah, we can only represent our dogs at the end of the day.
Right, absolutely.
You want to hit that one too, bro?
I want to say this. I think it's important because certain bloodlines are known for certain things. So I think it's important. It kind of gives you an idea what they expect after the dog, when you know about the parents, the grandparents, the great-grandparents, it gives you some ideal. But be mindful now, a lot of these dogs that have achievement, a lot of dogs that have genetic health testing, you have the same information that I have. If I pull up this pedigree on this litter, you have the same information that I have. Now, when you get to the siblings, you may not have that. I could give you information. I could tell you what we did with the siblings, what they achieved. I could tell you certain things about them. But when it comes down to those bloodlines, when I say established bloodline, not just talking about somebody been putting some dogs together, but established bloodlines, which means you're looking at a pedigree and you're seeing 4 or 5 generations that come from a specific kennel, and you are able to make the connections and see where the outcrosses are at. Why did they bring this dog in? That's a whole different understanding of a program versus just taking 2 dogs and put them together. 90% of the puppies that we see in the United States come from somebody just taking 2 dogs and put them together. Like somebody call you and say, hey, I got a female that's in heat. I need a stud. They don't care about the health of the stud. They don't care about the pedigree. They don't care about none of that. They want to use your dog to produce a litter. Okay, right. That's a breeder, but that's a breeder on one level. Then you got another breeder that's gonna say, man, I got this female, she gonna come in heat in 3 months or 6 months. Let me look and see what's out there that's compatible to her that I can use. So they're gonna ask for health tests, they're gonna ask for pedigree, they're gonna ask a lot of more questions than the person that's just pairing 2 dogs. So that's a big part, and you got to make the distinction between what do you want? Do you want a dog from a scattered pedigree that you don't have a lot of information on, the breeder don't have a lot of information on, he can't tell you about this or that, or do you want a dog that has an established bloodline in the pedigree, has health checks in the pedigree? You could go on the internet, you can look these dogs up, you can contact the breeder. That's a big difference. And I'm gonna tell you this is the problem that people are running into. They running into pricing problems. See, somebody want a Rottweiler, but they want to spend $1,000 and they want to get a dog. And you know, just based on your basic research, that you're not gonna get a dog coming from health tests, nice bloodlines with achievement. You're just not gonna get that for $1,000. You're not. So part of that is on the person that's buying the dog. If you go on the cheap route and you're not willing to do your research and you don't care, you might not get a real good quality dog. But people that's putting effort into their breeding, they want to be compensated for it. Even those people that lie and say, oh, I'm not breeding to sell dogs. If you go look, at the end of the day, if they got to live on some purpose, you better believe
they trying to make some money.
6 away.
Yeah,
so they can play that game with somebody.
What they lying their ass off today trying to make money. Who trying to feed just dogs? You know, you gotta come on, man. You don't love dogs that much. You get
4 times a year. The average amount of puppies is 7. 7 times 4 is 28. How much can you breed?
Right.
How many puppies can you keep?
Because you're gonna need you need to sell a puppy to feed everybody.
Yeah, so
a pallet of dogs.
a lot of things is about busting up the lies.
Yeah, it's a lot of lies. It's a lot of lies. Oh, I just did it for the love.
Some of us who have become too political with the dog game. When you become so political with the dog game, there's certain things you can't say.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Right.
So when you independent and you free, and you know how to move and you can do your own thing, then you freed up to say what needs to be said when it needs to be said.
Right.
I'll give you another example.
Everything out in the open. Yeah.
I'll give you another example. Just go check yourself. If somebody been breeding for 20 years. And they got to go somewhere else to get a dog to put in the show ring or get a dog to title out that's in a breed that they like, or I got to go over here and get this dog, and I'm going to take this dog from this kennel, and I'm going to put a title. You might want to question what they producing. Because if they've been in the game for 20 years, how come they can't produce their own dog that can champion out, or their own dog that they can title and work it? See, a lot of it is smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
Because they want to market and sell you a dog or whatever the case. And I
if they're not keeping their own stuff, man, that's nuts. I'd be looking for a dog I can pull off my own stuff. You know what I mean?
and if you don't have it, if you're not producing dogs that can champ right now, it's okay.
It's all right. Yeah, it's all right.
But don't act like you up here and everybody else down there.
Right.
There's something.
But this is another aspect of the game. Don't talk shit when you ain't doing a damn thing in the game. Right. You know what I'm saying? You got that element too, where like it's dudes.
You got to be able to show your
anything. Work. Right.
There's a brother that he swear he's the best man when it comes down to the education of the Cane Corso, but he cannot show you none of his dogs.
No proof.
He never show them. Quit playing with us, man. We got enough common sense. Quit playing with us. Been in the game long enough to know the game that people play. Quit playing.
You can't find their name on pedigrees back in the day, and they telling breeders what to do. I'm like, who are you?
And people listening to these people because they don't know about it. They listen to these folks.
Yeah, they get on there and put their dashikis and shit on, and it's the same people, bro. I'm gonna tell you, for the last 5 years, it's the same people that's calling these YouTube channels, the ones who pointing fingers, and them dudes hiding in the background like suckers. I'm telling you, I'm one of the only independent YouTube channels. I'm one. It's a lot of them, but I'm one of the well-known independent. I don't give a damn. Y'all ain't calling me with none of your stories, and I'm not regurgitating them. You know what I'm saying? You keep that.
You got to be able to show your work. When you was going in school, you can just say, get on your calculator and hit a few numbers and come up with the answer. The teacher gonna say, show your work. Show me how you got there.
In 1927, the mass schema was I know they told me.
Come down to training. Yeah. You got to be able to show your work.
You do, yeah.
And all that hype stuff, it don't work.
It ain't working no more. We busting that shit up. That's why they mad at me. Because we breed on people who really do what they say they do.
Right.
All that old, you coming on just to talk greasy about somebody, that shit, you got to, and look, and then I've seen even people talking about, oh yeah, we got dogs, we dog breeders, and then all of a sudden, you don't never see the dog. Now all of a sudden, the dog's old enough now. I thought you've been breeding 8, 9, 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
You just now your females just finally coming in the, Now we can see some puppies now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's wild out here.
And I'm gonna tell you
we told them a long time ago, didn't we? We tried to warn them a long time ago. Yeah.
And it's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna tell you this. It's okay to start over.
It is. Yeah.
It's okay if you get to a point and you say, well, working with what I got, I just can't get it right, and this is not gonna line up. I promise you, it's okay. I had all those half piece of standard Rockwellers that I had to get rid of. I wasn't embarrassed by that.
Right.
It wasn't, when I started studying and going to shows and consulting with the experts, and I found out they weren't right, I didn't have no emotional tie, bro.
Right.
For what I'm trying to do. If they're not gonna fit the bill, they don't fit the bill. We move on and we do something different.
Right. Let me hit some questions.
Okay.
Yeah, it is okay. Terry Cornish at Vic. It should never be. He's talking to Vic. It should never be about competition with teachers, trainers, etc. We must be innovative in how we teach and train. It has nothing to do with being in competition with another trainer. Well, I would hate to disagree with you, Terry, but it ain't like that, and it's not gonna change. Not in the dog world, especially not with all the cameras everybody got. Trainer, I see it all the time. That's why, man, I've had to come to a point where I don't comment under anybody's stuff unless I know I'm really good with them. If I know I'm really good with them, I'll comment under their things. But I see trainers all the time. This dude trained his dog one way, and here comes somebody coming to knock it. Like, damn, dude. I mean, just
Right.
if it's working for them, let them. And that's another thing. Like I think sometimes they think my show is against sport people. Man, Wayne Singer been on here. Oscar Moore been on here. We ain't against no sport people. At least not. I'm not. Shit, I
Right.
like this shit. I like that clean cutting shit. Then I got my homeboy down in CT. He's a practical dog trainer for people in the neighborhood. So he don't want his dog doing the focus hill. He just want his stuff to do practical for his clients. That's his preference. You know what I mean? But
Hey,
yeah,
I give you nothing, Joe. Somebody posts a dog somewhere on the site, and they got some tractions in terms of comments and interest, and then somebody that knows that person would take and put their puppy right there.
yep, I
Which
see
is
that
crazy.
a lot. Somebody's average showing a puppy. Here
Yeah.
comes somebody. Oh, look at mine.
I mean, if the person is already showing interest, and I know you,
Yeah,
they're already showing interest in your puppy. What are they like saying, hey, come over here?
yeah,
I
yeah.
got the
That's
best. Mine
bullshit.
better than his, because that's what you're saying.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Let me get this one. Vic, Terry, I understand it, but it seems like nowadays people get mad about anything that is similar to them. Like there's only so many ways to make a dog sit. That's true. We not reinventing the wheel. That's true. That's a true statement. True statement. But sometimes we focus on others too much. I need to get better at that too, man. I'm telling you, since I've been podcasting, I kind of picked up on some bitch tendencies a little bit because I'm looking too much. I'm taking in too much. Like my wife said, man, you've been on the phone so much since this podcast stuff, and you talking and you just and I never I never was nothing like that. Now I'm looking, but some of it is I have to because like they kind of look at me as like the dude to go get the information. So I have to take
right.
in a lot more information, and I got to figure out when I'm taking all this information because a lot of time when people bring information, they got to bring the bullshit too. Um, like when I talk to Doug, we more about topics, but and this and that, and I have to vent. Doug is my vent too, so I had to vent to him about certain things because it's a lot of pressure online. It's like, ugh. But I have to learn how to filter it out
Right.
and things like that because in the dog world, it's usually like when you hear something about somebody, oh yeah, he do this, blase blase. But the motherfucker did this too now. No. I don't want to hear nothing about your motherfucking wives, your son being on. They bring other elements into the shit,
Right.
like that's why on my disclaimer is look, we don't dive into people's personal lives. I don't care if him and his wife got to fighting, his son on drugs,
Right.
a
Right.
person had a bad point in their life. It's really some bitch shit to me when you have to do that to prove a point on somebody. I don't care what that man did. Everybody has a struggle. I'm pretty sure. Let me tell you something, guys. Like people send me so much dirt. If I was a dirty dude, I could turn the internet over in one night. But that's why it's not good for everybody to have these type of keys. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? To drive the car because trust me, they would destroy this thing. It's some dudes they'll blow the whole thing up, even themselves. They don't give a damn to be viral, man. They'll do anything. I mean, when I say they do anything,
Hey, Joe, tell him we had a guy that we was trying to help, and he got so infurious. He wanted to bite everybody who was trying to help. He wanted to bite everybody who was trying to help him.
which one?
Hold on. So hold on. Well, one that said ain't no standard.
Oh man, yeah. We ain't bring that up then. Yeah, that's another thing. Getting crazy over dog information. I'm glad I got the wheel because I know
Right.
I can get emotional sometime too. But man, I don't think I'm gonna go to the extent of some people. Question: do you think studs should have a limited number of breedings? What you think about that?
Who, me? What I think about this?
Yeah, Davidson K9. Davidson K9. Let me ask you. Let me throw that question back to you. Do you think you should have a limited time of how many times you try to breed? Man, I don't know, man. I mean, if it's a perfect male, I think he's making a joke about something. But that's a hard question to answer. I mean, if he's a great dog, shoot, you want to use him as much as you can. You know, he got a smiley face behind that though. Web Bay, Wee Bay Gray. Sorry. Small question: why don't breeders want to show their pedigree to others? Like Jihad showed the pedigree on an up and coming breeding from his hitman, Stormy, because breeders critique each other hard. The number one thing breeders say, "Oh, that dog ain't shit." That's their number one put down. They dog ain't shit. I remember I was talking to a young lady, and it's a divide in the Corso community, and a lot of it depends on who you buy your dogs from. Then it's the people like us, man. We don't give a shit about none of that shit they got going on. What does that have to do with me? I'm not in the politics of that shit. I don't make money by being in politics. But I remember I was talking to this young lady, and we were just talking about our dogs, and I said, "Yeah, here, this is my dog's pedigree," and she sent me a pedigree of all kind of shit, names blotched out. I said, "What is this?" She said, "Well, I don't want you to know who I got my dog from. It's like Bloods and Crips, bro."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, God, really? You know what I'm saying? And she was just so suspicious of me, like, you know what I mean? Like, dude, it ain't even that serious, you know what I'm saying? But you got these pedigree scholars. I'm telling you, man, you got these brothers, the same one calling all the YouTube channels last 5 years. In 1933, I called Italy and we found the dogs, and man, they just be all that old bullshit, man. We in a new day. Ain't nothing you can do to go back and change it. And the most of them ain't got no damn dogs. Ain't had a dog. Every time they say they had a dog, something disappeared, happened to it, man. Get the hell on out of here with that shit. Cornball ass dude.
Hey, we baby.
What do you say? What do you say?
Remember that? Yeah, I think for me, I think that's gonna be a nice breeding. It's gonna give me what I think I need.
Okay. So, Let me see something. Vic and Terry going back and forth in a good way, yo. Vic, I understand what you mean. I can say this. Block out the noise, my man. Keep working on your craft. You will be just fine. That's very important, man. Because when you're on, you have to kind of focus on yourself and everything. And but when you're online, boy, it get crucial. It get crucial real bad. But you got to give it up to the guys who come out online and share with you and just do their thing in front of the people, because they are special people. You know what I'm saying? They done got past the what do you call it? The shyness or the awkwardness of performing in front of the crowd. Most of them probably doing what they love to do. You know what I'm saying? So you got to give it up for the people who perform, because this is something Formula One K9's coach. He got these little funny little things he says, like commentators and people just sitting on the sideline and watching the game. You know what I'm saying? And you have to go to his show. It's called Formula One K9s, and he's a guy that mixes dogs, breeds up and things, and he teaches on how he does it. And just like a guy online named Callie Cantrich on Instagram, I got to call him. Matter of fact, I forget to call him. Go ahead.
Let me say this. And I think Terry said it before. The pedigree is absolutely important. Mm-hmm. It is, in my opinion, more important than just looking at two dogs that are in front of you and this is why I say that, certain lines are known for producing certain great things and certain bad things. That's why when you're starting a program, you start a program from lines that you have studied and that you like. Not just based upon a dog that you like, because when you start to breed, the things in that bloodline is going to come out, good and bad. And you don't want to pick a line that is throwing something that you cannot live with, that you cannot stomach, that you cannot fix. So when we talk about pedigree, because somebody asking another question about pedigree, you are studying that pedigree because you want to know that when you produce a product, this is what I have the potential to produce. If that dog is known for throwing eyes that are not right, ears that are not outside of the standard, genetic issues, you need to know that.
Right.
And there's certain stuff you want to stay away from. Like, you know, I know the Rockwater lines better than the Corsos. If I have something as it relates to Corso that I think I like, I'm gonna send that pedigree to Joe. I got some people, some other people that Joe know. We're gonna send that pedigree to, and I'm gonna say, hey, what do you think about this? And they're gonna say, well, hey, this is nice. This is known for this. Or hey, Jihad, be careful because this line is known for XYZ. That keeps me out of trouble. I don't want to produce a litter that has these issues that I don't know about because I don't know the lines.
Yeah.
So it's nothing wrong with asking questions to the right people.
Yeah.
I don't want to ask somebody a question. They're gonna come back and blast the person that got the dog because it's not good business. It's not professional. But I need to know if you see something, tell me, say, hey man, you know, be careful about that, so and so and so, so that I can make a better decision. Because I don't, as a breeder, I don't know everything. I don't know all the lines. I don't.
Right. You don't.
And
Yeah,
I'm not going to try to impress you like I know everything that's in there.
But this is so he admitted to something that we do. We have to get with other people. Hey man, what's up with this dog? What's up with this pedigree? And matter of fact, I'm gonna try to answer Mizan K9 question right here. It's on the screen while I'm saying this. It's a lot of people in all breeds. I'm telling you, you have what we call the YouTube scholars, and there's some on here. Now, don't get me wrong. Maybe a lot of them are in the pit bull breed. That's more, you can get more accurate information on dogs and things like that. But we have to reach out to people for certain things. But then too, you got guys that'll get online that say they know dogs and all the histories and all this good stuff. They never been to these men's kennels they talk about.
Mm-hmm.
They never put their hands on the dogs of the men. And women, they dog talk. They never been to the kennels. You never seen them at a function, at a show, nowhere in America. Do you know anybody that ever seen a pedigree from them? But in today's time, that people can get online and say them dogs ain't shit. And they never even saw the laid eyes on the dogs, touched the dogs, temperaments, nothing like that.
Right.
Just a bunch of pictures, a bunch of third party, fourth party stories of breeders that hated other breeders and a bunch of bullshit that's been going on. Motherfuckers living off the drama side of history. But we've been killing that shit. Like Vito Alu came on here and talked about black dogs. That's in the American Bulldog. Michael Morales came on here talking about black dog. We having tough topics on history without all the I per se bitch shit. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to change. You know what I mean? Having tough topics, even topics that may, you know, look, I've been on this podcast and got uncomfortable a lot of times. You know, people I done got corrected on here. I'm not easily embarrassed, so it's all good because if you know, I don't want to ever lead this show with my ego. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Real ish. How? Okay. Oh Lord.
That's a good one.
Okay. Is it?
That's a real good one.
Okay. How do you find ADRK shows and events, or should one go about finding the correct info about the Rottweiler?
Okay, I answer the second question first. Okay, if you go to the FCI website, you can type in FCI Rottweiler breed standard. It's going to give you about 4 or 5 pages that talks about the international standard. This is the standard of the Rottweiler that we have agreed to on the international level. It comes from the ADRK in Germany, and then to the FCI, and then it's dispersed to everybody else. So that's a starting point. There's also a number of books that are good, like this book here. It's my favorite book because it gives you illustrations of what should be and what shouldn't be when it comes down to the breed. As it relates to shows, there are organizations in the United States that are close to, that do things close to, that are striving to follow the ADRK guidelines in the United States. There's 3 different organizations that host shows, secret shows around the country, and they are the closest you can get to ADRK standard. Okay, everything with them is not perfect, I will tell you that, but you will get close as you can to the ADRK standard of doing things and showing by going through those groups. It's the RKNA, IRCA, and then URSC. So there's 3 different groups. These groups used to be one. They had some conflict. They split up, but they are doing things, trying to do things as close to ADRK as they can. There's always room for improvement, and they do bring judges from Germany to the United States that look at the dog and judge the dog, and then are able to award the dog points toward a champion title or whatever title. So, I would suggest go to some of those shows, see the dog in Seegers, listen to the judge, what the judge is saying about the dog, and then watch how the handlers are handling the dog. That's the best way to get knowledge about that breed.
Okay, Jihad, when y'all gonna host a Rottweiler Bloodlines show? Wait, hold on. Let me get this one. Vic, how much promotion of owning someone's pedigree before it's just riding their coattail? Yeah, you're gonna do a ride. If you start now, you're gonna ride some coattail for a minute because you working off another man's work.
You got
You
to.
know what I'm saying?
That goes
You
without
know,
saying. You got to.
Yeah.
You
Hey,
somebody
I don't care
down.
what a breeder say. That's how they gonna look at it. They're my dogs.
Yeah.
They're my dogs. Yeah. Until Lamont said a few shows ago, they're my dogs. Until you do something on your own. You know what I mean? So that's how breeders look at it. I don't give a damn what they say. I could say something. I ain't gonna say. Well, I ain't gonna say it. Yeah, it'll start some shit. But I'll put it this way. Now, Jihad got a dog from me, right? Gunner.
Mhm.
He's the one developing that dog. You know what I mean? I might have bred the dog, but he's the one developing that dog, and he's the one putting that dog in the position that he's going in. You know what I'm saying? He's doing really good so far. So I might have been produced the dog, but who developed the dog? You know, who built up the dog? If the dog went to another home, he could just never be known.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. But I know breeders look at it another way. A lot of them do. Some of them will look at whatever Jihad do with the dog. It's still my dog. That's it. But Jihad put in some of y'all know why I'm saying this, but Jihad put in the work in developing the dog.
Mhm.
So I think,
and another thing is I started giving a person credit.
you do. Yeah, he always have. Yeah. Joe
And I
Church.
thought,
Yeah.
because here's why. Here, if I get, let's say I got Gunner from Joe, I go to somebody else, I get a female. I'm the one that's making the decision to take this male to this female. I could have made a decision to take any male to a different female. So at that point, I'm looking at the dog, but I'm also looking at, okay, this person got this female and he made a decision what dog he's going to use. If it's a good outcome, that outcome came like that because he made a good decision.
Mm-hmm.
So while you are working off somebody's line, when you immediately start to produce good results with that dog, you get credit for the good results.
I'm telling you. And who don't want the dogs in people's hands like Jihad and
Right.
some of the people we put our dogs in, and you getting good reports about, oh yeah, they doing what they need to do, blah, 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 blah. That's true. That's what we want. That's what I want. You know what I mean? Jihad, when y'all gonna host a Rottweiler Bloodlines show?
We do Rockefeller Seeger shows at the first of the year in Arkansas. We'll be hosting in 2026. I think it's gonna be in March. We ain't got a date yet, but we've already.
Mr. Gray, where you at? Mr. Gray, where you at? Sorry, Jihad.
We did a show in 24. We did a show this year in 25, and next year we have our third annual show scheduled for March of 26. And I can tell you that it's going to be in Bald Knob, Arkansas. So we do those. There'll be 2 judges that'll be coming from somewhere around the world to kind of help with that show.
Okay. Oh, really? Okay, cool. Yeah, we tried to pull one off later, earlier this year. I hope we can do something next year, Jihad, where we could all start getting together. But you know,
let me say this: the shows, events, seminars, all of that stuff is based upon how much participation you have. It costs money to fly those people over here.
Yep.
A hotel room, their food, their transportation, and then you're gonna give them something for their time. So and if you're doing trophies, all of that stuff has to be paid for. Sometimes you're doing $10,000 to $15,000 to do a 3 or 4 day show. So understand this: if it's something that you want to see, and somebody is doing it in your area, get involved. Ask them how can you participate. Donate, because none of that stuff is free. They're not giving free plane tickets and free hotel rooms. Somebody's paying for that.
Right. And those events and everything too. I don't like, me personally, I don't like discouraging people from participating in shows, competitions. I just don't like doing it. Because you can go out there and maybe meet somebody, learn something. We have a good time when we go to shows and things like that. People cool. I think a lot of time, I hate to do us like this because I think we do this too much. We beat each other up too much online for like this being black, but we always looking for like, man, come on, man, we gotta get off that type shit, man. Go on out there and quit expecting the worst all the damn time. You know what I'm saying? Man, a lot of times is things don't go right because in our mind we already approached it, fucked up, already thinking about it negative. Me and Jihad stay in Arkansas, right? And then I know, we don't go around and race people. Man, we be at the show. We don't have no issues, do we, though?
Right. None at all.
Welcoming and like, hey, what's up, guys? You don't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, come on, man. I hate to do that. I don't like to do it like that online, but man, stop.
You can't just go off of somebody else's experience that they had 20, 30, 40 years ago. You got to have your own experience. That's what us being adults, being men and women is about. We got to have our own experience. I'm not going to not go over here and investigate myself because somebody had a bad experience 20 years ago.
A lot of times they don't even be 20, 30, 40 years experience ago. It's just because they hating on it. You know what I'm saying? Period. Like if you don't do it, I mean, So what?
And then you might be dealing with somebody that don't know how to interact with people.
Yeah.
Some people have bad experience because of their own personality.
Right.
You know, like I took my children in the show and the first AKC show, and one of the things I learned was I already knew as an adult, you know, you don't touch people's dog. But my daughter and her friend, which is my partner's granddaughter, they wanted to touch people's dog, and most of the people didn't have an issue with them touching the dog. It was just the timing. Once they calm them dogs and they groom them dogs, they don't want the oil in your hand being on the coat before they go in the ring.
All that makeup.
So if you don't understand that, you just think that they being rude. You got to understand certain things about etiquette.
That dog finna go do a job.
Yeah, that dog finna go in the ring, and they don't want the grease from your hand in that coat.
Mm-hmm.
So right. It was a learning. My first time going to AKC ring, it was a learning experience for me.
Right. Let me get Mizan K9 on here. Man, you don't miss no show, bro. he be there, don't he? He said, "I'm here because it's always about dogs, and the breed specific stuff is secondary for everyone. Most of us just like to share the information with like-minded individuals." I agree.
Right.
And but I like them deep dives. Sometimes the one-on-ones, man, they actually be pretty fun. In a lot of cases, there've been some of our best episodes. Like one episode was, I remember one time I did an episode with Schoolboy and Vito Alu. I just sit there like a kid on the I didn't say a word. And then there was ones with Mr. McFarlane. What's it? Bob? I can't remember his name. Chicken breed over here in Oklahoma in Schoolboy. Them were fun interviews. And I ain't gonna lie, man. It's been interviews I've been about to poop my pants on. I've been so nervous, especially starting out. I was like, because some of these dudes you got to get ready for. You know what I'm saying? When you start having them like Kenny Toronto and all them type, them real deep breeding talks, man. Shit, man, this shit is intimidating because I got to do a job too. I'm doing a job of the people trying to think what the people want me to ask them. You know, I'm in there this is a live one. But the people can help ask questions. But when I'm in there one-on-one, I have to think for myself and the people, what do they want me to ask? You know what I mean? It's a lot of pressure sometimes. Mm-hmm. Let me see. Mr. Grace from Indiana, I think they mean make a video explaining the bloodlines. They want you to explain the bloodlines of the Rottweiler. Yeah, that's what I meant, left out. Simply don't want to get burned on my first Rottweiler. And that. And what lines to stay away from? Oh shit, Terry, where you at?
Let me say this. A show like that would be absolutely disastrous because what you're asking is you're asking people to point out bloodlines basically that they don't like and explain why they don't like them and explain the ones that they like, and everybody's going to have. They're gonna have bloodlines that they like, you know. And I'll use this as an example. There's a bloodline that I was introduced to. When I first saw the dogs, I really liked the dog. I was on the verge of buying one, paying $4,200 for one. And if I had bought it, I would have been upset at the person I bought it from, who really didn't know Rotties like that. So when I looked at this particular bloodline, when I started learning about the breed, there were some things that were wrong, and I was glad that I didn't get the dogs I was looking at. However, even when it comes down to that particular bloodline, there's a way that it can be bred and there's a way it can be used where it does not throw the defects that I was frowning on. So for a few years, I told people, hey, stay away from that. Here's the reason. Don't get it because X, Y, Z. Do you know I got a dog in my yard now that has that same bloodline? Why? Because when new information comes, new perspective comes, and people do things different ways, they get different outcomes, and we get a chance to see things different. Everything is not etched in stone. Somebody took that same bloodline, they put it in their line, and you know what? It produced dogs that meet the standard. They don't have the issues that those other dogs have, and these dogs are championing out in conformation.
Okay.
So you can't just get narrow-minded. If I talk about bloodlines, you can't be just narrow-minded.
I think that's my sister right there, coming in incognito. Is that you? Okay, here go Terry, brother Terry Cornish. I got an episode with him dropping next Wednesday on temperament and character. It's really good. It's really good. It's in editing. I should have it out this week. Hey, and thank you guys. You guys helping with the memberships is helping me bring the show. I just want to financially, if we could just, if it takes care of itself, I'm not trying to make money off of this.
Terry, I agree.
Yeah, I agree. But we got some good stuff coming, man. We got some stuff we got some people finally believe in this podcast. Not that they hadn't believed before, but I'm talking about some brands that believe in NWA, man, and appreciate what we doing. I'm like Arsenio. But anyway, okay. Tony, interesting question is, it's a detailed question. Joe and myself just spoke about doing a one-on-one podcast on breed, type, and Rottweiler, which we did today. Pedigrees are essential when speaking on breed type. Yeah. So yeah, that would be good. That was gonna. We probably gonna have to show pictures with that one. You know what I'm saying? Because, Joe, we got to get you a sponsorship deal. Yeah, please. Yeah, please do. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely my sister. Right. Joe, we got to get you a sponsorship deal. Yeah. Okay, well, Terry, let's do that show. And then we're gonna kind of discover what you like before you purchase it. You know, we'll dive into it and we'll see what's going on. Any more questions or comment? Oh, he got plenty of picks. Okay. There might be something we can do with a laptop if you want to do it live, or we could just do it pre-recorded, and it don't matter to me. Any more questions, guys? Lottie Dottie, last call. Alicia, how's it going down there? Up there, my nieces and nephews. My sister done did a great job with her kids. And she more harder than a lot of you fake ass dudes out there. A real soldier done did many tours for this country. You know, decorated soldiers. Okay, let me see. I'm sorry, bro. How do you guys go about researching bloodlines of lesser known breeds where the info where the info isn't just floating out there? That's one of them times you're gonna have to find one of them human encyclopedias, like I tell you, with the alibi or with the Central Asian Shepherd, which alibi just means spotted dog, y'all. I don't care what they tell you, it just means spotted dog. You know what I'm saying? We got guys like Nemeth Patrick. We can go to, and we got guys like Daniel Nash that we can go to, because it's not a lot of literature on a Central Asian Shepherd. Now they are hitting me from other countries now, but they ain't sticking true to it. I know y'all gonna hear me. You don't like, if you feel like y'all can put better information out, I'm here. I got the Russian translator on deck. You know, he's back from the CCAA show. So I got a Russian translator. He's more than willing. If y'all want to sit up and talk about the Central Asian Shepherd, we can do it. Just, you know, let's do it. But yeah, you'll have to find them type guys and them hard to find research breeds. And, you know, you have to go from there. You know what I'm saying? But earlier, I think Jihad said something about this game, I don't care if you training, I don't care if you dog breeding, I don't in this journey, you'll be hard pressed to say you're gonna get your information and learn from one person. That's a dangerous person that would
Right.
say, I learned from one person and this is my philosophy. From
Right.
one person?
Yeah, you just carbon copied in.
Yeah.
Just a
Yeah.
carbon copy.
Right. Well, Jihad,
But
I
the
think,
thing I
go
would
ahead.
say is, you know, with certain bloodlines, it just depends on how popular the breed is. I think because with certain bloodlines, as you are building that bloodline, there are people that are coming to you and they're getting dogs and they're doing different things with the dogs. Like, I mean, there's certain places you can go with certain breeds that you're gonna be able to look and see, okay, if they got this health test did, it'll pop up in the search engine. If they got this title, it'll pop up in the search engine. If they have when you go look at certain dogs, a lot of dogs is on the internet now. You could see those dogs, what they look like. You could see the movement of the dogs and all of that. So some of it is a deep dive. Some of it is talking to legit breeders that don't mind telling you about some of the challenges with their line. But a lot of people, they don't want to tell you, man, I got this going on with my line and it's not good. I had a lady in what was it, in Dallas. She's a popular breeder. She's known, and she's been breeding probably for 35, maybe 40 years. And she had a litter of 10 puppies, and out of the 10 puppies, she had 4 of the puppies because, remember, I talked about tracking, right?
Mm-hmm.
So some people they can't tell you about their stuff because they're not tracking. But this one was tracking. Out of 10 puppies, she had 4 of them that had missing P1s. And she said, I got to go back and see what is causing that. But she wasn't embarrassed about saying she had, out of that litter, she had some dogs with an issue. I just had 10 puppies. And out of the 10 puppies, one of the puppies I had a horrible overbite.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when you meet people and they talking like everything is good about their dogs, they lying to sell puppies.
Yeah, they lie. Yeah,
They
lying.
know the dog, and they, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna run into some issues every now and then. You're not gonna, every litter is not gonna be what you want. It's just not.
It could be a big breeder, it can be a medium size, it could be a small breeder.
Right.
They run into issues and they shouldn't be indicted because you're breeding livestock. You know what I mean? You're gonna run into issues. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what I feel about it. But man, it's still a journey for me at least. And I'm learning. I mean, I look at my Instagram. I look a lot of times the people that's in the comments. I'm looking at their stuff like Mizan K9 been posting some good stuff on breeding and Instagram. I might share it. So I kind of look at everybody's stuff, and one thing about it is the truth is common. There's gonna be some commonality in ideas when it comes to what we consider the truth of breeding, what works the most. It's gonna be some commonality. He said the same thing, and he said the same thing. And this one, it started to ring true. It might be slight little modifications on things like that, what people do, but at the same time, somebody said something like, "Man, it's only a few ways you can teach a dog how to sit." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
and let me say this: if you selecting a breeder, you selecting a breeder because you have confidence in that breeder. You select that breeder to get a puppy from.
Mm-hmm.
Don't select a breeder and then say you're not willing to listen to anything else. Okay, and I'm gonna give you an example of what I mean. When you have breeders that are doing litter evaluations, they are evaluating each one of those puppies because no matter, even though they got the same mom and dad, it's just like you and your siblings may have the same mom and dad, but y'all are different. Y'all are different. When they do that evaluation, they're saying this dog is best suited for this. This dog is best suited for that. This dog is best suited for that. And when we come down to dogs that have different colors, and we're talking to potential clients who want to purchase a dog, we're saying if you want a personal protection dog, a dog that's outgoing, good temperament, he's running around, he's not skittish, he's not afraid of anything, he has his tail up, he's strutting, he got his chest out. We're saying get that dog because you told us you want a personal protection dog. Okay? Don't say, oh no, I like this color dog, and I'm gonna go ahead. But that color dog might not have the same temperament and drive to meet what you're saying you want. So you got to be willing to listen. I run into this. The biggest thing that I hate about dealing with the Corsos in terms of sales, people always get fixated on the color. They're not looking at anything else. Oh, I want a black one. I want a blue one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get out of there.
Right.
It's about the purpose for which you want the dog and base your decision on the purpose, not on the color.
That's what's up. All right, brother. Well, let's get out of here, man. I'm ready to go to bed.
Get an hour.
These late night shows, they more easier to have. Yeah, after everything's done for the day. All right, guys. Well, I'm sure we'll see you when you see you. I got a ton of good episodes coming out. They already in the tank. We'll be putting them out. So, Jihad, thank you again, bro.
Hey, thank you, brother, for having me.
All right. Yes, sir. All right, we'll see you.